The lighting at Lubli was designed to make everyone look expensive. But sitting across from Julian, I didn't feel expensive. I felt like a prop. Julian was swirling his 2015 Chateau Margaux, ignoring me to text his assistant. We were celebrating our engagement, supposedly. "The merger party is finalized," he said, not looking up. "It's going to be heavy on the Goldman guys. High stakes, Elena." I touched the diamond on my finger. "I picked up the dress today. The navy silk." "Good," he said, finally slicing his scallop. "And remember the talking points. If Henderson asks what you do—" He paused. The knife clicked against the plate. He looked at me with eyes the color of a swimming pool in winter. "Elena, I think it's best if you say you're consulting, or maybe working with a nonprofit." The restaurant noise seemed to drop away. "I don't understand," I said. "I'm a teacher. I love my job." Julian sighed, a sound of profound patience that was infinitely worse than shouting. "Look, honey, it's about optics. These men control billions. Their wives run art galleries. They sit on museum boards." He took a sip of wine, and then he said it. The sentence that would end us. "Don't tell people you're a teacher. It's embarrassing for someone at my level." Embarrassing. I stared at him. I waited for the punchline, but he just ate his scallop. In that second, I didn't cry. I didn't throw my wine. Something inside me just clicked. It was the sound of a deadbolt sliding into place. "Embarrassing," I repeated softly. "Don't be dramatic," he said. "You want this life, don't you?" I looked at the chandeliers. I looked at his perfect suit. "Yes," I lied. "Of course, Julian," he smiled. "Good girl." I picked up my fork. I didn't eat. I sat there calculating. He thought he was managing an asset. He didn't realize he had just liquidated the partnership. The ride home was silent. Julian hummed along to a podcast about crypto. He had no idea he had just burned the house down. I stared out the window, and suddenly the last 3 years replayed in my head. That comment wasn't a mistake. It was the pattern. 6 months ago, he hired a personal shopper to throw away my rustic sweaters because they didn't fit the brand. Last Christmas, when I tried to talk about literacy rates at a dinner party, he squeezed my arm hard and said, "Babe, don't bore everyone. Tell them about St. Bart's." He didn't love me. He loved the acquisition of me. He loved that he had domesticated a passionate teacher into a silent, elegant wife object. When we got home, Julian went straight to his office. "Big call with Tokyo," he said. I walked into the kitchen. I didn't pour wine. I opened my laptop. I logged into our joint account. There was $150,000 in the wedding fund. I didn't touch it. I wasn't a thief. I was a teacher. I believed in consequences. I opened the venue contract for the merger gala, the party happening this Saturday. The one where I was supposed to pretend to be a consultant. The contract was in my name. I was the one who signed it because Julian was too busy for details. Cancellation policy, 48 hours notice for a partial refund. I picked up my phone and texted my friend Maya, a public defender who hated Julian. I wrote, "He said being a teacher is embarrassing." Maya replied, "I'm coming over with a shovel." I typed back, "No shovel. I need logistics. I'm leaving, but I want to ruin his brand first." Saturday arrived. The Sterling and Partners Gala was at the Botanical Gardens. At 5 p.m., I was supposed to be standing next to Julian in navy silk. Instead, I was sitting in Maya's Honda Civic 3 blocks away, eating Cheetos and watching the live stream. Julian looked magnificent. He was checking his watch. He tapped his earpiece. He was sweating. At 5:15 p.m., the catering manager approached him. She looked frantic. She handed him a white envelope. It wasn't a love note. It was a letter on my school district letterhead. It read, "Dear Julian, per your request, I have removed the embarrassing element from your life. I wouldn't want my low-level career to contaminate your brand. Please consider this my resignation as consultant wife. P.S. The catering bill was on the card you authorized me to use. Since I am no longer an authorized user, I canceled the payment this morning. The venue requires a valid credit card in 10 minutes, or the bar closes." On screen, Julian froze. He read it twice. He looked up, eyes wild, searching the room for the leak in his hull. Then the AV guy, a former student of mine, hit play. Julian had asked for a slideshow of success. Instead, the screen behind him filled with a photo of me covered in mud at a charity run, laughing with my students. Huge words appeared on the screen. Elena Vance, grade 3 teacher, proudly embarrassing. Then the next slide came up. Net worth, $42,000. And 25 happy kids. And finally, the last slide. I can't afford this lifestyle, but I can afford my dignity. Goodbye. The gasp in the room was audible even on the live stream. Mr. Henderson, the billionaire investor, frowned and whispered to his wife. She shook her head with disgust. Julian dropped his glass. It smashed on the floor. He tried to grab the mic. "Technical difficulties. Just a prank." But nobody was laughing. The bar staff stopped pouring. The lights came on. The emperor wasn't just naked. He was cruel. "Oh," Maya whispered, "that is poetic." I closed the laptop. Let's go. The fallout was a slow leak. Julian didn't go broke, but he lost the Henderson deal. Apparently, Mr. Henderson's daughter is a special needs teacher. He told Julian, "A man who doesn't respect those who raise our children isn't fit to manage my money." Julian became a punchline in the city, the guy who got dumped via PowerPoint. As for me, it's Tuesday. I'm wearing a mustard cardigan with a hole in the sleeve. "Miss Vance?" Leo, my student, is holding a crumpled paper. "I think I spelled dinosaur wrong." I smile. "That's okay, Leo. We can fix spelling. The imagination is the important part." I look at the clock. In my old life, I'd be panic ordering lunch for Julian. Here, amidst the glue sticks and chaos, I take a deep breath. I am a teacher. I drive a dented Honda, and I have never felt richer in my entire life. I pick up my red pen. Back to work.